Greetings, weary traveler, come, warm yourself by the fire, and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, and of course, tales of Tamriel. I'm your host, Arkhaniir, and we are back with a full show. Joining me, starting with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Lotus of Doom. How's it going, Lotus?
I'm doing pretty well. Been an interesting week, but I'm glad to actually be able to get to tales with you guys.
Nice, that's good to hear. And it's good to hear that everything is sold out nicely.
Yep, no further catastrophes, so back to fun and games for me.
Also joining us, knocking on wood, the joy of the show, the giggle queen herself, HyperPixie. How's it going, Pixie?
I'm going good now that I have a Red Bull.
Great. So once, I am not the only one who's totally sleep deprived. And Pixie is joining me on that. So next week we just need to get Lotus to not sleep at all. So
well, it's fine. To be fair, I just finished my Red Bull. Not sponsored.
Red Bull, the official drink of Tales of Tamriel.
I should mail them. Be like, look, we are always sleep deprived, and we are always drinking your stuff. So
look, we need this to function. Just give us something to work with.
Even if it's just free Red Bull, I'm fine with that.
Give us our addiction fix, and we'll be good to go.
So Kiz from USB says, I'm not sure wishing sleep deprivation on people is that nice, Ark. Maybe, but are we nice here? Have you seen us being nice in general?
A valid point, as usually it just evolves into race and alliance wars every time.
Yeah. So, as per last week, I kind of wanted to say that this is going to be a short show because we don't have news, but we all know what happens, and eventually we end up in like 2-hour show. So not promising anything. We might be here for a while.
Quote unquote short show.
Hey, at least our top limit is until someone falls asleep completely. Not like me having micro naps.
But those don't count.
Those don't count because you're still here. You just don't understand, but you keep hearing at least. Random stuff maybe, but...
The drones take over Tamriel.
Yeah. So, going into the news, we don't really have anything. There is one thing I wanted to mention, and Elder Scrolls Online is asking me for my age verification now out of nowhere.
Great.
Why aren't you old enough to play this game? Time.
Yeah, it keeps forgetting. What rude.
I know I'm short, but that doesn't mean I'm a child. Please stop asking me.
It is kind of weird to think about, like, the amount of people who play this game and the amount of people who probably shouldn't technically play this game because it does have an M rating.
Oh, really? Wait, is Elder Scrolls
Online M rating? I thought it was T.
No, it is not.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
They wanted a T rating, and they couldn't get one.
I mean, well, it does make sense because blood and gore check, sexual themes check, use of alcohol check, violence double check. I mean, does make sense.
No, well, okay, so let's just derail right out the gate. So
I think we did that with the Red Bull.
You're not wrong, actually. So here's kind of an interesting thing. Morrowind was a T-rated game. Oblivion has actually been released as a T-rated game and an M-rated game. Actually, UESP will know this because they're on top of all this crap. But if you have the collector's edition of the game, like with the book and it came with the coin, stuff like that, that version is T-rated, which I have on my shelf. If you have the other version, it's M-rated because they needed to then re-release them because the way ratings are done, at least in the US, they just kind of send in like, oh, these are the worst parts of our game. And the ESRB doesn't actually play them. They're not gamers. It's a terrible organization. Not that I have anything against them, but they're awful and don't deserve money. But No side notes of my opinions on that, clearly. But they so they gave it, a T rating based on that, because it's got gore and blood, and it's like, well, then a bunch of people kind of brought up the very well done Dark Brotherhood quest in Oblivion, which is super freaking dark.
Yeah.
I haven't done those.
Oh my! Wow.
I need to. I know
Yes,
I need to, but I have
Okay,
not.
well, if you want to spare yourself the
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it,
sadness
'cause
and
it's so
like
good.
everything,
Okay, I'll
all
play it.
emotions,
I promise.
like all emotions at once in a single quest line, then you shouldn't play it. But if you want to
Yeah.
experience all emotions all at once in a single quest line, then you should play it.
Yep. When you get toward the end, there's almost like a serial killer moment, and it is like, it's not just like, oh, this is violent. It's like, oh wow, that's a new level of gore.
Okay, I'm
And-
playing this.
Yeah, and that came back, and that, I know that was a big thing, and I think there was something involving character models.
Which Kiz in chat just mentioned, like at the same
Oh,
time.
really? Oh, yeah.
Or
Okay.
just trying to write off what
is it?
Kiz said is your own thought.
Was re-rated because of character models. Yeah, yes. There was something with the character models, like they had like too much dong or
Boobs?
something. I really don't know. There was something weird about it. But yes, there was something with that as well. There were a few things where I was just like, when it got re-rated, I was like, yeah, I think this fits better. And then since then, it's just like, yep, it's an M series.
Oh, it makes sense that Elder Scrolls is M-rated, really.
Yeah, it is not. Even if you're just talking about the themes of the game, I mean, they are not. They are some adult themes, sans the blood, the gore, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Excessive melons, SDT.
Well, moving on to the news that will very nicely connect into Elder Scrolls Online being M-rated. They released coloring pages on Elder Scrolls Online's official website.
Perfect.
So it's basically the coloring book pages with Lyris, Solitude, Vampire Lord, and a werewolf, which you can download, print, and have some coloring of your own, or give them to your kid if you have, and let them color a Vampire Lord and a werewolf. And
Right.
try to explain what they
like
are.
A vampire lord.
I will let my son color the thing that will also give him nightmares. Parenting win.
Perfect.
I really
coloring
want to tell
as
a
they
story about
scream.
him, but it has bad words in it, so I don't know.
Have to be our post shows.
Okay, I was about to say it is Elder Scrolls related, so it's not entirely derailed. But
It is weird that we try to be family friendly on a non-family friendly game, actually, now that I'm thinking about this. I've never really considered that.
Makes sense. I mean, one day we'll go non-family friendly. We just need to give like at least 10 episodes of warnings for it, just to make sure that everyone got the memo, because that'll be a switch. That'll be a switch between.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I feel like I do okay not saying bad words. I am doing better than I thought I was going to, because usually they just slip out. So I'm surprised that I have not just ruined the family-friendly nature of the show single-handedly.
Look,
There
if I
hasn't-
didn't completely destroy it, you're fine.
There hasn't been a single thing that I had to edit, actually, which is strange. Like,
Yeah.
it is.
We
It
get
just
gold
takes-
stars, Lotus.
To be fair, to some degree, it is helpful because it makes me think prior to speaking, because I need to plan out the sentence before I say it so that it doesn't come through in full Boston and ruin not having explicit text. So,
Also, I just want to say the Lyris drawing kind of looks like Pixie, with the hair braided on the side. Yeah, look at it.
congratulations. You're now Lyris.
I will take
Yeah.
that as the best compliment I've ever gotten in my life. Thank you.
We'll call you Mini Lyris.
Pocket Lyris.
Pocket Lyris. Perfect.
Oh, that's the episode name.
Yep, Pocket Lyris. Perfect.
Do I get an axe now, guys?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll put some in chat for you. You got baxes. You already know that. There we go. There it is. Look at how excited little mini Pixie is for the Ebonheart Pact.
So for anyone who doesn't watch the video or the live show, Lotus has an emote that says "For the Pact" with a great axe, and Pixie has an hype emote in which she has her arms like in a yay kind of
very
emotion,
yay
right?
stance.
And so so Lotus puts them side by side, so it looks like Pixie is holding two great axes for the pact.
There it is. There's some more of them. It's almost like we planned this, but we really did not.
See, it was meant to be.
Put glasses on me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you get some sweet shades too.
Oh my goodness.
It was meant to be, Pixie. It was meant to be.
Exactly.
You are now a Nord and a pact member.
Exactly.
Oh. See,
And
that
Kinara-
compliment just turned itself right around.
And Kinara and this is why there are never any short tails, which is right. But yeah, if you want, you can go into the website of elderscrollsonline.com and find the article for coloring pages. There are even, I think, 4K resolution versions available. So
They look really cool.
yeah, they are. Like, even if you don't color them, you could print them out and hang them on your walls.
Yeah, just have
and they would
prints.
still look pretty well. Like, you don't have to color them. This is still pretty good. Like, if you put a frame on them, they look like they are deliberately colorless, but it looks like an artistic piece if you don't color them too. So, and I'm 100% sure if I try to color them, I will just end up butchering the entire thing. So,
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna try.
I'm really bad at coloring.
I am
Really
really
bad at
bad with like pencil, anything that involves writing, drawing, coloring.
any and all art.
Yeah, any and all art. Yeah, like even my stickman figures are not like properly drawn. They are weird. I can't do anything when it comes to holding a pen or pencil or something like that.
I do kind of want my son to color these, though, and I will totally send you guys pictures of the result.
Yeah, I mean, you
Please
can
do.
give him the Lyris and Solitude. You don't have to give the Vampire Lord and the Werewolf.
He likes
Ease him
vampires
into the
and werewolves.
werewolf and the
Oh,
vampire.
really?
Lord,
Then
that's
this
all.
is great, actually.
Yeah, you just never know what he'll actually color, so it'll be interesting. Just like with any kid. I forget which one of the ZeniMax staff actually posted it, but they had that same idea and had their kid color it, and it was hysterical.
Oh, I have to see it. And like, I kind of want to
It was
see some
adorable.
pink Vampire Lords and everything like that.
Nice.
It's
like that.
I
The
hate
Vampire Lord might have
Lords.
had a pink belt and might have been purple, but I don't
Sounds
remember.
about
But it was adorable.
So that was about the news we have, actually. So yeah, coloring stuff.
Coloring.
Yeah, coloring. What else do
Yay.
you want? I wish
I
my
like good news like
I
that.
wish-
Can that just be on the national news too? Just talking about coloring.
Color.
So that's kind of where I'm at with everything right now. Let's just talk about coloring, guys.
Yep.
I wish my printer worked. Like every other printer, it stopped working at some point and never
Yeah.
started working again. I hate
just
printers.
got a printer. It was given to me by my grandpa. It works right now, but I have never had a printer until like a couple of months ago.
Is it ink or is it laser?
I have no idea.
I hope
I
it's
haven't used
laser.
it. My boyfriend has just printed the stuff for me. It's old, so probably ink.
What? Maybe
So we'll
maybe
probably
the old
use it
ones
until it
work
runs out of
better.
ink.
I don't know. Maybe the old ones work better. Like, I tried buying something quality. It just stopped working at some point, and it hasn't worked since. And it's just in storage now. I didn't even bother bringing it
It's okay.
back. What a word! Why that happened?
Mark's having a stroke.
Someone said help.
That is pretty much what happened to my printer. It just had a stroke like I just did.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
stopped working. Yeah. But yeah, that brings us right to Tales.
Which, I mean, technically, you guys have tales that relate to side tangent of news with the PTS.
Yes. Yeah.
Unlike me. I mean, that's news-ish because PTS is a thing. You both experienced it. Beta test my game for me and make it work, please.
Yeah. I completely forgot that I was on PTS, and PTS was a thing, and I was so hyped for it, and I checked out all the places and everything, and I somehow just deleted from my brain before we start the show. We have patch notes and everything. It's
yeah, I mean, well, we kind of went over that. I mean, there are a lot. Actually, I guess we should probably address some of the patch notes, I guess, because some of the things are changed, like rip my Bloodspawn monster set.
Oh, yeah, Bloodspawn. Actually, it's not entirely nerfed. So if you keep it up at all times, assuming that's possible, you actually get just a little bit more ultimate per second, like
Really? I was
0.33.
just assuming it was going straight. I mean, to be fair, I don't use it a ton, but I do like it to be available. That did not seem like it was going to be something I would bother with too much anymore, at least. But the big thing, obviously, was what we discussed at length last time, which was the debate over the VMA perfected fiasco, which we don't need to spend more time on. Other than, by the way, the perfected version has now... You get more spell pen. There you go. You get more penetration. If that's worth doing that, it doesn't... I would be surprised if at this point they're going to... what do you call it? If I can understand people doing it because min-maxing is a thing, and you want to squeeze out every little bit. But if you're in a trials group, you generally hit penetration max if your trials group knows what they're doing. So that's really not that big of a deal. But I mean, if you want to have it, I understand that, and it does not seem like you guys are getting your update or upgrade. I mean, to perfected.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to change. So it is what it is.
I know that another set that changed is actually my favorite monster set, and whenever I was on the PTS, I didn't care to look at it, to be completely honest. I was just more entertained by the zone itself and completely forgot that gear sets were changing because I saw Solitude and just got sidetracked. But my favorite monster set on my healer is Symphony, and apparently that one might... So... Right now, correct me if I'm wrong, because honestly, I just used the thing and don't even remember. It gives resources. I think it's single target right now, and it's a big resource helper. But it's going to be much smaller with giving the resources, but it's multi-target now, I think.
So,
right? I don't have the patch notes in front of me, so I'm going off of memory.
Yeah, I want to correct myself because Bob mentioned that you gain 6 less ultimate per second. Where's that math coming from? So I checked it again, and apparently the numbers I saw were wrong, and he's actually right. You do get
because I was going to say, when I was talking to Berserk Zod about it, and I was like, did I read something wrong? Because I'm pretty sure that set's just bad now.
Yeah, it is.
I was actually trying to look, but Bob filled in quicker because I was like...
it used to be 14 ultimate over the course of 6 seconds. Now it is 8 ultimate over the course of 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's 2.3 ultimate per second versus 1.6 ultimate per second. So there's also
the other one.
Right.
We're doing these super out of order, so if you wanted anything
maybe
specific
maybe we
happen
can
to be here live, feel free to specifically chime in, because Slaps actually mentioned another one that I've heard a lot of my friends really enjoying, is the Valken Scoria damage focus. I wouldn't even say it's a buff or a nerf. It's just changing its focus, where instead of getting health from the first thing, you now get a focus toward, I believe is it spell damage or magic? I'm trying to look that up in the notes. These notes are dauntingly huge, so trying to find things in them is nightmarish.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The only things I know from the patch notes are just what people have told me. I did not read them.
I read them, but
anyway.
I'm too focused on Bloodspawn and how it works right now. So currently it is, when you take damage, you have a 6% chance to generate 14 ultimate and increase your physical and spell resistance by 6,000 for 6 seconds. So the way I understood this is, it's 14 ultimate over the course of 6 seconds, not 14 ultimate for 6 seconds every second. Is that every second? Is it? I mean, I've been using this set for years, and I really have no idea how it actually works.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who does that. I just admitted to doing that with Symphony.
I just know that whenever I use this set, I can drop ultimates left and right, so I use it.
You can, especially as a Nord now.
Yeah. The thing is, though, does it give 14 ultimate every second for 6 seconds, or does it give 14 ultimate over the course of 6 seconds?
Correct.
Because Bob just said every second.
Number 2. Because otherwise, if it did 14 ultimate every second, I would literally just be like, I have Perma Warhorn. And it's just like,
yeah.
Or I would cheese every dungeon. It's like, oh man, those mechanics would be hard if I didn't live in Magma Shell.
But yeah, so it is. So 14 ultimate every 6 seconds is like 2.3 ultimate per second, and 8 ultimate every 5 seconds is 1.6. So yeah, it is reduced. I somehow got like the new value as 2.6 ultimate every second. So I was like, okay, it increased, but
yeah, that's why that was throwing me off. So I was like, wait, what? But yeah, so definitely some change ups if there's stuff. Zahn is best in slot monster set, gets buff. I don't know. Hey, whatever. Yay, DPS. More DPS in my teams. Good job, everybody.
So without going into too many random discussions about PTS, I kind of want to read the table of contents and leave the rest, because as usual, this goes on for pages and pages.
So isn't it 25 pages?
Might be. I don't know. I didn't even check.
Yeah.
It's it's long, but basically what we are getting: new features, updates, and big changes. So we are getting the new zones, obviously, Western Skyrim and Blackreach. We are getting antiquities, a new trial called Kain's Aegis, new item sets, I'm really interested in that, actually. But I have to do Sunspire first. I gotta find a group on you. So new item sets, new collectibles, new achievements, new dies and titles, new homes, which we are going to talk about in Tales. New motifs. I am so excited about that sword thing. The one in the screenshots. And new crafting ingredients. As for the base game, we are getting vampire updates. We talked about last week that werewolves are also getting an update. Performance improvements, Imperial City updates, which I haven't read about, but I'm curious because I've been in Imperial City this past week. Housing precision editing mode, which I'm gonna... Actually, I can talk about this because I've tested this. Basically, what this is normally when you are placing an item, if you move your character, the item moves at the exact displacement. Now, you have two editing modes. One is the usual one, and the new one is precision editing mode, which when you move, doesn't move the item. So once you place an item, You can like walk to the side, look it from up, down, wherever you want, and make precision editings with degree and unit options. So you can move an item for 15 units or just 1 unit, or you can rotate an item for like 0.5 degrees. So
that's amazing.
That is going to allow a lot of precision editing. So that's gonna be really nice. That's gonna make everything a lot better. We are getting new furnishing, which is the Solitude furnishing style and Vampiric furnishing style. I'm gonna get all the Solitude ones, obviously. There will be new achievements, again base game new motifs, and updated character select screen. Are you guys ready for a rant? Because I'm gonna rant.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
So what they are doing is, from now on, every new chapter will have the chapter's background at the back of our characters at the character select screen. Unlike your alliance. So it used to be our alliances, now it's gonna be the chapter. Which this year it is perfect. It's Skyrim in the back. It's amazing, even for Aldmeri Dominion characters. But what's gonna happen when you get the next Aldmeri chapter? Huh? All my Nords are gonna have the background of some Aldmeri looking weird, ugly place. I mean, Somerset is a beautiful place, but it's still ugly.
Well, I saw the new one and it looks awesome. Like, that is really cool. But I do also like the Alliance thing. I feel like they're slowly pulling back on like the Alliance more and more, just subtly. But to a more serious note, the big problem is Guaranir's background will no longer heroically be flower petals in the Aldmeri Dominion.
Screenshot that while you still can.
Good point.
Oh my goodness.
Make it a tribute, edit it, and just make it gorgeous.
But yeah, I'm conflicted about that because I both like and dislike that.
Yeah.
Almost
at the moment, I really like it. Later on, I probably won't like it.
Yeah, if it's a region you're not totally down with, it's like, aw, like now I can't escape it. Do we still get our flags in the background though? That's my question.
In PTS, you don't. No, there are no flags.
That's a downer.
The bad thing was. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So whenever I loaded into the PTS, I had not read the patch notes, and I was looking at my Necromancer, who's DC, and I'm like, this isn't where she was last time I was logging in. This must be broken, and it's just a placeholder for something, just because they just poured it in the loading screen differently this time. And just didn't even dawn on me that it was supposed to be like that. But I love the Aradon one so much, so I am sad to see that one go. But this one is pretty cool. So as long as they make them all really cool, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, because it is. It's still gorgeous. And it makes me curious if it has anything to do with one of the upcoming things, not to jump ahead with anything, the Alliance change tokens.
Maybe.
Oh, that makes sense.
As opposed to, but I mean, it seems they're all stock, like this is your AD background, this is your DC background, this is your EP background. I would think it would just be able to switch, but I wonder if it's just, there's a reasoning to it. It's like, okay, if you can switch alliances, maybe it would be better to just have a stock, like, okay, for this chapter, this is what everybody looks like.
Yeah. Maybe. I do really like that they're allowing us to switch, though, because
I love that.
I did not have any race, any alliance until recently, so my main is actually on the wrong alliance. So I need to switch her, and I'm really, really happy they added that, because I know at one point, I think it was an interview with Rich, I could just be making that up, but
no, I feel like you're right.
He had said that they weren't doing that, so I'm really glad they changed their mind and actually did it.
Yeah. I really like that as well. I'm a big fan of that concept because sometimes it can be tricky when somebody like I've met somebody later along and they've got their main and they're like in a totally different thing. It's fine to do anything outside of Cyrodiil, but if we want to play Cyrodiil together, it's like, yeah, not so much.
Right.
Just want to say,
it used to be a bigger deal. Go ahead.
Yeah, all your characters are on the wrong alliance, Pixie, because they are not an Ebonheart Pact.
I haven't. I think I have an Ebonheart tune.
Good. Then you have one correct tune.
Yeah.
Maybe. No. Hold on.
Oh.
Actually, my tank is Ebonheart because that was before I had any race, any alliance, and my tank's an Arkhaniir.
Well, there's good and there's bad.
I mean, she's going to be with the Dominion soon enough.
Now it's all bad.
There's no reason to perpetuate a mistake.
In all honesty, I'll probably just switch my main just because I bet this thing is going to be expensive and I need crown crates.
If this is less than 150 or 1,500 crowns, I would be shocked.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right.
Like, what is the race chain? Race chain is like 3,000.
Oh my god!
If I remember correctly. Well, I think. Isn't it? Is it 1,000 or 3,000?
I'm not sure.
I'll have to log in and check.
The free ones they gave us when they revamped.
Oh yeah, it's
everything.
been sitting in my inventory.
I've got the potential to make 3 of them, but I've never done anything with them. So, but youch if that's the case.
Yeah. So more on the PTS. It's gonna be the European character swap on May 4th. So if you are a European Megasaur player like me, you will get our characters on 4th of May. And you are gonna have to use the templates until then. And remember that PTS patch notes are work in progress, and they are currently at 50 pages apparently, by the way.
Okay, so
Well,
I
yeah,
literally
not 25.
I was like, I think they're like 25. Well, it's apparently much more extreme than that.
50 pages. Of course, written
Good
by
lord.
the scribe
Poor
of
Gina.
Natchpodes. Yeah, Gina.
Right?
Goodness me.
Ark,
50
you're also
pages.
correct. Apparently, it is 3K for a race change.
Yeah.
Good lord.
I mean, name change is 1,000. And I don't know, just changing a piece of string data should not be costing 1,000
to
crowns.
$30. Good
Yeah.
lord, that is shocking. I had no idea it was quite that expensive.
Yeah, it unfortunately is.
Eesh.
I mean, I can understand maybe you don't want players to change their names left and right by making it like
No,
100. Oh, apparently
definitely.
name change is 2,500,
Oh,
not
name change is-
1,000.
Oh my goodness.
Remodel is 1,000. Okay,
1,000,
so
yeah.
appearance change
Yeah.
1,000, name change 25. I never had any, like I never looked at them, so I didn't really knew the prices.
Yeah,
but there you go. Basically,
yeah,
they're
I-
expensive. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be
I
expensive.
didn't
around
realize
here.
that was the price range of them. Oh my.
All right, so that's about the news. Our tales, at least mine and Pixie's, will involve more PTS stuff, so we are gonna talk about those too. In that sense, since I see PTS typed in your notes as well, Pixie, up top, why don't you go ahead and tell us about your tales for this week?
Okay, so in PTS, I have this rule for myself. I'm not going to do any of the story. I'm not really going to talk to any NPC that has a quest to give. So I didn't look at Antiquities because it was a quest thing, and I want that to be a surprise for myself at live launch. What I did do was thoroughly explore the zones of Western Skyrim and Blackreach. Solitude is it is so similar to Solitude in Test 5 Skyrim. It was an emotional experience. It was really, really cool to go back because Solitude is my favorite city in Skyrim. And it was really, really awesome. They did also include all of the digital collector's edition items, so I was able to have my Death Hound pet back that I was so attached to in Skyrim. Even though it's just the PTS, I still renamed him Garmer because he will forever be my Garmer. And he's coming back with me whenever it launches on the live servers. I'm going to have Garmer, and he will be my soul pet forever. But so I explored everything. I saw Dragon Bridge. Everything felt very Skyrim, but it was still different enough. Like the murder scene that I came across, and there were differences in some architecture and everything, particularly in Solitude. The marketplace area looked different. It actually looked prettier in this Solitude that we're in now in the second era than it did in the fourth era. So it was really, really fantastic. The zone was gorgeously done. I feel like they did a really great job giving it depth and giving it that Skyrim feel without just copy pasting everything over. And then I got to Blackreach. Now, in Blackreach, whenever I played Skyrim, it was kind of I just panic run through the whole thing because the Falmer beating my face in. So I didn't actually explore down there as much as I probably should have in Skyrim. But it is an entire zone in ESO, so I took the time to explore it. There's a town down there named Dusktown. It is so awesome. Sorry, I heard the cat doing a thing and he scared me. But it's incredible, and there's portions of it that are different colors. So there's these glowy purple geodes that have broken open that are gorgeous. And then there's the blue mushrooms that you kind of expect whenever you go to Blackreach, at least from the places in Blackreach I had seen in Skyrim. Mm-hmm. And then you come to another area where it's this gorgeous, beautiful, warm orange color that is just stunning. And there's a public dungeon down there. I just walked through the entrance. I can't remember what it's called. It's some dwarven thing, so I can't pronounce it anyway. There's Veil Deer down there and other Veil creatures along with the Gloomspore enemies that are like the mounts. I was just taken aback at just the beauty of this place. In a way, I was excited to go to Blackreach. I didn't think I was going to end up as excited as I am right now, just because it was so much more than I was expecting it to be. So really, how much I loved Blackreach was a huge shocker for me. And then I found a Harrowstorm starting in Blackreach. Now, whenever I was exploring above ground, I had seen the Harrowstorm spots, and they have the same little logo that you see for like the dolmens, or very similar. So I would go to one, and it would never be active, and it would just be some travelers sitting around a campfire. Well, I saw one start, and it's like this big, huge red tornado, and it is intense. I was always the only one at the Harrowstorm whenever it was active, so I immediately was murdered, but I was murdered taking some really fun screenshots because I knew I was not going to be able to survive, and it was just incredible. I am blown away and cannot wait to actually see what the whole story is, because I feel like this could be one of the best yet, just with how cryptic everything looked. Like, I went to the Shrine of Meridian, just south of Solitude, and I was going up the stairs, and all of a sudden, 2 vampires just materialized and jumped me because they were lying there invisible. And I screamed so loud, it was terrifying. And then once I made it up the stairs and they quit jump scaring me, I noticed that these priests of Meridia were just slaughtered up there. I'm like, oh man, there is a quest here, and it's got to be really, really cool. So I'm just going to turn around right now before I see things I don't want to see. And it just seems like it's going to be incredible. So it seems like there's going to be a vampires versus Meridia thing going on, which I think we kind of called early on before Greymoor was even a thing, that Meridia was going to be involved somehow.
I mean, we called Meridia was going to be involved, but my working theory was always that Meridia would be the villain this time. Yeah, but not sure if that's gonna happen now, because Vampire's gotta be the main villain. At least that's what we kind of got from the trailer, the cinematic trailer. But
I'm wondering how it's going to go. So again, I have not played the story, so these are not spoilers. This is just me making stuff up now. Right. There's a vampire house you can buy, which I'm going to let you cover housing, because I did preview the houses and loved both of them. But I know you spent more time in there than I did, from what I've heard.
Super in depth.
I again did like spend an hour trying to get to places that the player should not be allowed to get. So
I will let you cover that in depth. But for me, there's a vampire house you can buy. They're making all of these revamps to vampires. And in Unhallowed Grave, there is a good guy vampire with you. So I don't think these vampires are going to be entirely bad.
That actually makes sense.
So I wouldn't rule Meridia out as the bad guy just yet. I could be completely wrong. Or it could just be like a side quest. It could just be like all gray area, which is kind of what I'm hoping because that makes for super interesting stories. But I don't want to have too many of my crazy vampires are actually the good guy. I don't want to get too stuck on that, and so that way I don't feel one way or another if the vampires are just the bad guys and it's the more obvious thing. But I don't know. Based on everything we've seen with Meridia and that journal, but from Darian and everything, I still think there might be at least some gray area there.
Well, yeah.
And then,
I mean, I really want to see Meridia as the villain, and I don't know, maybe slice her into two, like we did with Moloch Ball in the main quest, like the first main quest in the game.
That would be
because
cool. We haven't fought Meridia in a while. She's always kind of on our side.
Like she's been on our side, but she's playing her own game, and then she kind of messed with Darian. You messed with Darian, you get hit. You know, there's no running away from it. We are not vestige for just messing around, picking up apples and everything. We are here to destroy Daedra, and if you're the Daedra that messed with Darian Gutierrez, then you deserve what's coming for you. So I would. As much as I hate vampires, I would love vampires to turn out to be the good guys, and then we fight Meridia instead. Like that, I would be okay with that because then later on I can always kill vampires anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking because Greymore Keep, it's just so huge. I didn't explore it. I just walked into the grounds. I wonder if they did make the vampires the good guy, if that would. So remember back in base game, I think it was Haven. You walk in there crawling with bad guys, you have to liberate that city, and then it's fine, and there's just normal NPCs there and no more enemies. It'd be awesome if they brought that back.
I don't remember, but see, the house that you can buy in Blackreach for the vampires, so the Vampiric House, which calling it a house is so wrong. It is a chateau. It is massive, and in PTS it is incomplete. I don't know if they completed it yet, but some parts of it is not complete yet. Like you can see things not rendering, collision box is not working properly.
The floating door.
The floating door, yes. And there's nothing behind it, but you enter it and suddenly you are inside a gigantic building. It is very gothic. And I kind of want to say Victorian, like with the... Well, not Victorian, but sort of like a cathedral style building. It is absolutely beautiful. Even though I hate it, like the concept of vampires, the building, the house itself is magnificent, and you can go up to the tower. It's like a very tall, like vampiric tower, and you can go up to the top of it using some sort of like an elevator thing, and you can see the entire what's the Fort Greymore, whatever, the main vampire area, I guess. I didn't go in there. It is basically the walled-in city, again in Blackreach, and you have the entire view there. It is so beautiful, and it's huge. I don't know how we are gonna again decorate that, but I'm really excited to see what the players will be able to do about it, because I mean it's a very vertical house. It's not horizontally big, but vertically it's massive. So that means all that empty space you have vertically will be you'll be able to build upon and walk around in it. Because when a house is big horizontally, the collision box caps out at a certain limit at top, so you can't build way high up. But because the building itself is already that high, that means you have a massive area, floating area to build upon. And knowing some of the housing, like pro-housing people in our community, I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with all that massive area that they can build upon. It's just a 700 item limit might be a little bit difficult, but yeah. So that place is insane. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be crown only.
I would assume.
Yeah, it is. So expect like 15,000 crowns.
So between the two of us, Ark, I enjoy housing, and I would like to be good at housing. I'm just not that great. I put things in a house that you would just imagine being in a normal house, and that's just how I do housing. You're talking about collision boxes and how high up you can go. I'm like, wow, I never thought to do that. In case in point, whenever I got there and I saw that there was a door that was floating, I was like, well, I guess I should just leave. And then my Twitch chat was like, just do what Ark did and use stairs. I was like, you're right. I can buy this house and use stairs to get in. And so
I didn't even use stairs. I put plank. I put one plank.
I just like how your initial idea. Well, this looks complicated. I give up. Goodbye.
Well, oh no, it gets better. Just wait. This is how inept at housing I became. So I bought some Alinor stairs, which are really pretty, and I highly recommend them to Ark, who I know loves Altmer architecture. So I bought these Alinor stairs, and I managed to get stuck inside the stairs.
Oh my god. How did you?
Incredible.
I don't know how I ended up inside the stairs, but I was trying to very carefully position the stairs because the problem was I needed more than one set of stairs. So I bought 2 stairs and I put them, I was trying to like have one just kind of on top of the other, but then it just like, it wasn't working. So then I used the second stairs as a base for yet a third set of stairs. And then I put a platform down. And that was essentially how I got up to this door. But whenever I was like trying to position the third set of stairs, I got trapped inside of them. And I couldn't remember how to return to the entrance. And so it was just me panic pressing a whole bunch of buttons until I found it.
PTS ruined.
I'm just like, oh my god, I'm just going to be stuck here for the entire time, and I had all these things I wanted to see on the PTS tonight, and it's just not going to happen because I am stairs.
I mean, very simply, you could have just put boxes, like crates, and just jump on them like Mario. I mean, that's...
But instead you managed to sandwich yourself in between pieces of masonry, crushing your character.
I was inside the stairs. It wasn't just like I was caught between 2 staircases. I was in the stairs. It was just
excellent.
So bad. And then there was a point where I was like, oh, I'd really like to go see those mushrooms. And then I couldn't jump over the very small wall. And I'm like, okay, but I guess I can't go there. And then chat was like, just use the stairs again. And then I again got stuck in the stairs momentarily, but was able to walk out for the second time. Like, okay, I'm not allowed to have stairs.
Oh, okay, so Slaps has actually a clip of this.
Yeah, he put your PTS's fun clip in chat for anybody that's live. You're welcome to enjoy that.
I'll have to check it out after the show myself.
Yep.
It was rough.
So I spent like 2 hours in that vampire chateau. But the reason is I didn't do any housing, I didn't do any exploring. Basically, when you enter that house, you go through a bridge, and there is a second bridge under. Well, it's not a bridge, it's more like a support bridge thing. It doesn't have any doors leading anywhere, it doesn't lead anywhere. It's just another piece of bridge under the bridge that you actually enter the area in. So, having spent about 60% of my ESO game time over the years on just trying to get to places and aimlessly jumping around, I took it upon myself to get on that bridge. I think it took me just over an hour to actually manage to get down there. But I did, so I'm proud of myself, even though it actually really absolutely did not lead to anywhere. And after getting on the bridge, I jumped off of it like in 5 seconds because there was nothing to do. But yeah, the bridge is accessible for anyone who's considering it like I do for some reason. Other than that, again, some of the parts of that house is really not finished yet. You can get around things that you are not supposed to, which made me learn that the doors, when we can't see what's behind them, are actually just a wall with a door, not the whole house. Because there's a room up top on like a master bedroom style thing on a rock when you go to the top of that tower, and it opens up to it opens up to a big room. Like, it's a master bedroom, it's quite big, but it's not finished, so you can jump around the rocks and get behind it, and it's actually the size, like 1/5 of the actual size of the room, the building itself. So it's kind of like bigger on the inside.
It's a TARDIS.
Yeah, it is. So I didn't know they did that, which makes sense from, I guess, optimization perspective, to just throw the player in a new instance instead of inside the actual building. But it's just a little tiny bit of trivia-ish thing that I realized while, again, jumping around aimlessly trying to get to places that the player should not. So, yeah.
But have you ever journeyed to the center of a staircase?
No, actually, that is an accomplishment I have not yet figured out how to do.
How many stairs does it take to get to the center of the ESO housing?
By the way, another thing, I forgot to locally record this episode, so I'll have to download it from Twitch. I hope everything works well.
How is that possible? We even brought up the fact that I forgot Audacity at first.
Look, I was recording the pre-show, and then I stopped recording the pre-show to start a new recording for the show, so it's easier to separate. I just never did start any recording for the show.
I heard Ark say, yes, I should start Audacity too.
So, oh boy. Well, things were
it's
going
fine. We can
well,
download it
suppose,
from
in the
Twitch.
grand
It's
scheme
just
of
the
things.
video quality will be a tad bit worse compared to local recording. So,
Oh, ta-da!
Nobody would have noticed if you hadn't said anything, then that's the hilarious part.
It's best that people know halfway through the show that everything
Yeah.
actually is secretly on fire, even if it doesn't overtly seem like it's on fire.
we gotta preserve
Swimming in
our
lava,
name.
just like we talked about.
And we could say
So
what
no-
Kiz says: restart the show, can't continue. I mean,
Yeah, can't continue. Sorry, gotta start it all over.
an
Remember
hour
everything
of recording just wasted.
Yep, just ruined.
So I'm
anyway,
going to save my
continue.
favorite one, which also involves Ark for my final part of Tales. But outside of the PTS, I did run a very smooth vet, however, settled it. Blah, blah, blah.
Ah, yes. I always hated that. Vet hella la 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 la. They're the worst of the runs.
Oh god, we are broken.
The Red Bull far off, but I can't tell you that.
The worst of all those runs.
VHRC hard mode.
There you go.
Going to call it
Perfect. Kiss, where do you go from there? Yep, I figured that could get us about off the rails as possible. So.
went great. Either Aaron just healed everyone for me, or I've gotten a little bit better at the Starfall thing because I didn't just immediately let everyone die this time. So that was an improvement. Yeah, I was like firmly on the struggle bus whenever it came to Starfall, like a few weeks ago whenever I did this, but going in again, even though I haven't done it for a couple weeks, it was because we were running it. So the way the Lore Seekers trial team kind of works is on Fridays, we try to make sure everybody who hasn't gotten the clear already, so people who might be on the backup squad or who are on the core group but missed it last week, so the people who don't have the clear already, they have priority to try to get all of us clears.
That makes
Well,
sense.
they were short a healer, so even though I had already gotten it, it's like, you guys need a healer. Like, I'm available. I don't have anything better planned, so I'll come with you guys. Because nobody else was volunteering, and so I wasn't taking a clear from anyone. So I jumped in with them, and it went really, really well. I got to go upstairs for the first time because usually I'm the downstairs person.
Okay.
And that was different, but it was fine. It was a fun run. We did have to pull in one pug who, I don't know if he was trolling us or what, but he just kept doing Destructive Outbreak and wiping the entire group. 9 times out of 10, when we group wiped, it was because somebody did Destructive Outbreak, and it was like almost always the pug guy. But he could have he just didn't know the directions of the dungeon. He didn't know the mechanic. Eventually, he stopped doing that, and we cleared it. But it took a little bit there. But other than that, it was a super smooth run, and it was really fun. And
quick question for you.
Yes.
Since you said that was the first time you've ever gone upstairs, most of the time, well, from my experience, everybody always prefers downstairs, except for me. I'm like the only person. Like, it's so easy for me to get the tank roll I want because I volunteer to go upstairs, and everybody's like, I don't want to go upstairs. I was like, perfect. I do want to go upstairs. What do you prefer? Do you like surprise? All right, no problem. I was just curious.
Sorry.
Does anyone ever? Well, it's fine. I always get first dibs on what I want to do, I suppose.
I think like there was the guy upstairs splits, and so the DPS split. Anytime there's a split, it's just not fun time for someone whose biggest heal is AoE.
So, all right, quick little thing, which hopefully this doesn't. This isn't really I can't do it 100% of the time, and it is. I don't know if it's a glitch. I don't know if it's. You can just keep him from splitting ever, and he just stands there and doesn't do anything.
That does sound like a glitch. I mean,
it does.
Yeah, it's been there basically since I've ever done it. There's a couple people in chat who like upstairs. Yay! Yeah, it is an interesting cheese. So I can't always do it, and I'm not entirely sure what I get him stuck on. But actually, the last time I ran it, people were like, "That was the easiest upstairs ever." I think he broke. And a lot of the people ran it again with me, and they're like, wait, is this something you're doing? I was like, maybe. So as soon as the mage comes out, he'll come out, and he'll walk forward a little bit toward you out of the doorway, and you kind of just tee off on him, and then he splits, and he separates around the room, and blah, 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 and you need to do lots of interrupts. So if the first thing you do is range taunt him when he's leaving the door, and you go over to the left side where there's a statue, like kind of like up a little bit on the side. It'd be your left. He's coming out, so it'd be his right. Range taunt him, and as he walks through the door, if it works right, he'll get kind of stuck on the side of the statue, and he just stands there the entire time. So everybody can just pile up. You can puncture him, and then just turn him so he's not whacking anybody, and just anybody can just bash his animation. He never splits. He just stands there and waves his arms a whole bunch, and it's like super easy to do all the mechanics without having like 4 of him instead.
Which trial is this?
Helra.
No, it's la la la.
Yes, upstairs version. So you're not doing the Welwar part, but yeah, that's just again. There's sometimes where he just doesn't pay attention, and he's just like, bye, and he like walks past the statue. But if you can get him stuck on that statue, he just kind of chills there and is like, oh, I'm a fire, and just stands there, and you can just slap him out of his animation. Makes it a lot easier, and generally that one seems to take groups longer to clear top than bottom. And it's really funny if the other group doesn't know that happens, and you all stand up top and you play the drums while they're fighting all the Welwas down below because you don't help them. So, yeah, I just figured I would chime in with that because it is something handy if people can figure it out.
So it's related to ESO, but it's not ESO. I was playing Animal Crossing today, and I was like, there's not enough ESO in this game in particular. So I made the Mages Guild research robes in Animal Crossing and posted that on my Twitter. And I'm just really, really happy that I was able to recreate that outfit.
They're
style.
super accurate.
Thank you. I eyeballed it and did it like.
I knew exactly what it was before I even read the description of the tweet. I was like, hey, look, it's the Mages Guild.
I was like thinking of things I could do. I was like, I've always really liked the Mages Guild robes. I bet I could do those. And I just pulled up a picture and just had my phone with the picture up next to my Switch. And that's how I did it. And I was just really, really happy with myself. So I want to continue doing that in Animal Crossing as long as I have the time to. I just want to pick like different costumes that I like that I think would translate well, like robes and whatnot can directly translate to Animal Crossing pretty easily. And just keep recreating Elder Scrolls Online costumes in ESO and I'll in Animal Crossing, and I'll post them. And then my last little tale actually involves Arkhaniir. He was with me. It was actually just before the show. I was streaming, and Arkhaniir has started playing a little bit on NA, and I voluntold him to come do a dungeon with me, and we ended up doing 2 dungeons. We did Vet Direfrost. And all through Vet Direfrost, I was just trying to be a very annoying healer. And there's lots of times where I will accidentally pull because I'll try to summon my ghost, but I'm on the wrong bar and accidentally blast bones. Just like with the bunny incident that we all know about. So I was just doing it on purpose just to see if he would yell at me. And so I just kept repeatedly throwing myself at bosses. One time I accidentally blew up because of it, but it was worth it. It ended with my normal tank, Lego, calling Ark Arkhaniir, and then he sulked in the corner throughout the entire last boss, so he just did it without the tank.
Yeah,
it was fine.
I got a free hard mode clear, so...
Oh yeah, we did it on hard mode with no tank, but that one I don't think you really need the tank, obviously, because we didn't have any issues with it without the tank. We just had to convince Ark to actually break out instead of just really ruining the whole thing for us.
Perpetually heal her back to max health.
That would have been as hilarious as that would have been. That would have made that run last forever because we would have just kept trying. And then we're like, that was really quick. Let's run another one. Or actually, that didn't happen for anyone else. I just queued us for another dungeon before our protest. And it threw us into Vet Banished Cells too. And I'm like, well, this one's boring again. I was really hoping it was going to give us a hard one just because I thought it would be more fun. And then we've managed to do the most chaotic run of Vet Banished Cells 2 I've ever seen. We just pulled everything to the bosses and then just nuked everything. And then Ark decided on the Daedroth boss that he was just going to stand in the fire and let the fire stack and stack and stack. And us trying to play healer chicken, which normally I'm really good at. But then I ran out of magicka. But then I rezzed him right away and just told him he had a little fit of narcolepsy. It's fine. He didn't actually die. He just took a short nap and he's back. Well, so then we get to, the Harvester boss? The second to last boss?
The sisters.
Yeah, the sisters.
Yeah. So Ark was trying to do the thing where you stand behind the pillar, but then he went down the stairs and they followed him down there to where the final
that's
boss
the thing.
is.
I never actually went down the stairs. I was behind the pillar. And then I was behind the pillar. I just jumped on the edge, like the fence thing, whatever it's called when it's done. I just jumped on it, and then next thing I know, they just straight up started running down the stairs where the actual final boss is, and then they never came back up. So we had to go down there as well. So we ended up fighting everything down there, including the sisters, and everything broke. It's not my fault.
I've never seen that happen in like hundreds of runs of that place.
It was amazing. It was actually a really fun way to run the dungeon because, like I said, Banished Cells after a little while does get a bit boring if you're with people who know the mechanics and everything. So doing it that differently made it at least entertaining. And we ended up. How many day draws did you have on you at the end? We did get the hard mode clear, but I think you had.
Yeah, I
7,
had 5.
Right?
I had 5.
5.
It was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
SD said, "Why would you get out of the fire?" Oh, okay. So he said, "Why would you get out of the fire?" Yeah, exactly. Why would you get out of the fire? I agree. I mean, if you are not supposed to stand in stupid, why is it in the game?
Okay. That red on the ground is not showing you like a target for where you're supposed to stand.
Yeah.
Red means please move.
No. Red means stay here. This circle, it's for you. It's specifically...
Red is for stop right where you are.
Yeah.
This.
Red means stop. So whenever I'm on red, I stop. I don't move.
That's hilarious.
It's how you tank. I've done it for 6 years. I think I'm a good authority on this. The red means stay inside. It's safe.
Right. You see green on the ground, you know you run from the heals. It's very straightforward.
Yeah.
You know, I use Hollow Fang as one of my sets on my healer. I consistently roll out of my own AoE because I see the big blood ball and don't notice the green under it and just automatically assume it's something that's going to hurt me. And I just roll right out of it. So I never get the procs from my own set because I just can't stay in my own AoE because I'm always healing. I'm not even used to seeing green on the ground. So, because it doesn't show up as green for me, it's just whatever color the skill is. So on my Necromancer, it's a bunch of blue stuff. On my Templar, it's a bunch of yellow stuff. So then I see this green on the ground, I'm like, well, what on earth is that? And then just assumed it was going to hurt me. And obviously it's Hollow Fang, so this is a recent set. This is something I've been playing the game for like 5 years. And I'm just now figuring out green is okay to stand and don't move.
So apparently, according to Dog,
oh boy,
if you stand in the fire, it also burns the dead rot.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. If that, you know, the Daedroth fight. Oh man, I'm just. This is one way or another to get Zos to be aware of all of the cheeses. So you know the big Daedroth who snaps the chains and like slowly fills the room with fire in the middle?
Yeah.
If you puncture him and walk him back to the way you entered the room, there are those little fire jets.
Oh,
if you just place him on those fire jets, each time the fire jet comes up, it nukes 30% of his health. You can kill him in 18 seconds.
I killed skeletons in that fire. I never thought to actually...
You can bring the whole boss in. It just it completely obliterates him instantly. Yeah.
See, I was doing it right all along, just in the wrong place because those jets of fire don't come up with reds under them. If it had, I probably would have stood in it and killed the boss.
Yeah.
I swear that Ark and I's sole purpose of running a dungeon together was just to find every way we could grief each other through the entire dungeon.
The entire time the entire time you were trying to annoy me, I was trying to lure the bosses towards you to get you killed. But
is that why you made the one boss do a dance and kept moving out of everyone's AoE?
Maybe.
The thing about me is I am very fidgety, and unless a mechanic tells me I need to stay still or I'm going to die, I'm moving back and forth the entire time.
I thought you were trying to run away from me.
No, I wasn't even noticing until until the DPS said, "Why are you pulling him right out of our AoEs?" I didn't even really notice anything was off. I just run around in circles. That's just how I play.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep up with you. So if the boss did like a cleave attack or a cone attack, it would hit you and you would die, and then my job would have been complete. But
well, how'd that work out? I just managed to kill myself the one time I tried to pull the one guy because I forgot he had explodey friends.
Yeah, that was so nice. She basically ran to an exploding, like those imps, the Daedric imps, and they both blew up at the same time and they just died.
Well, normally whenever I run Dire Frost, it's always with a pug, so I'm not going to do stupid things to a pug tank because that's just mean. So I just hang back and just heal from back where I'm supposed to be. and don't run towards the purple. But this time I'm just like, screw it. Blast Bones is not getting to him fast enough. I'm just going to run over there. And then they exploded on me and I died immediately. I'm like, well then.
Whenever I'm playing with pugs, I'm actually a proper tank. Whenever I'm playing with friends, it's you don't want me. It's I do.
I mean, you got the clears.
Oh yeah, we did.
In creative ways.
It's bad when I forget that we are doing a no death and do these things. Then I get yelled at. It's because it happens.
Next time I just won't heal, and we'll just see how much health. Like whenever you do the fire thing, we're just gonna see how long he lasts without any heals.
Oh, I'll probably just die on the 4th tick on North American Mega Server. I could potentially stand like a minute of those fires stacking on top of each other on my European character, but I think it's impossible to completely, like, from start to the end of the fight, completely tank them, because I think they keep on stacking and you keep on getting more damage, and eventually you just die. But that could be a fun challenge, like, to see how long I can do that. Yeah, I now have a new purpose. That'll be.
But yeah, that's my Tales, and also part of Ark's Tales.
All right. Well, I'll just take over from here then. So as Pixie mentioned, I've been getting back to playing on North American Mega Server because there are so many people that I haven't talked to in a long time because I haven't been logging into North American Mega Server in the middle of the night. But with working from home, I save time on like commute, I save time on getting ready, things like that. On top of that, I don't have to get to work and I'm in my home area, which I can be more sleepy without losing any actual work efficiency. Because I'm home, like I can just, well, I mean, even at the office I can grab a coffee, but here I can just put my head under the sink, wake up, and continue working, you know. So I've been staying up late, which is not really healthy, but my insomnia has been acting up again. So I thought, okay, well, this is a good time to jump back into North American Mega Server. If I'm gonna be awake at 3, 4, 5 a.m. on a normal day, why not start catching up with people on North American Mega Server as well? So I borrowed some gold from Ag, because for some reason, all my sets, like my Ebon Armory, my tanking sets, they are gone from my North American. I don't know if I deconned them, sold them, trashed them. I have no idea. Some of my skills leveled down. Like, I didn't have extended chains. I had Fiery Grip rank 1. It is impossible for my character to have Fiery Grip rank 1. I played that character for 2 years. There is no way the chains didn't level up, but for some reason it was back to level 1. I have no idea how that happened. I had to level that back up again. So I bought Plague Doctor set pieces. I was gonna match it with a Battalion Defender, but for some reason no one sells Battalion Defender in North American Mega Server. It is confusing. Like, there are only bows and staffs. Where are the chests? Where are the weapons? Where are the shields? I went through like 20 guild traders. Only pieces I saw were like bow, staff, helmet, and things like that. Like, where are the rest? What are you guys doing to them? I don't want to sit down and farm Battalion Defender by doing 700 battlegrounds. I want to be able to buy them. According to SD, the skills switched positions at some point. That's why they leveled down.
That's
not
right.
Nice.
Yeah,
Switch
I
positions.
actually, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like you unlock them in a different order.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember
Right, that was so far back. That's good catch. That's it. I actually had totally forgotten about that when they switched the order of some of the stuff. They de-leveled. Yep. So that actually explains
That's
it.
how long I haven't played in North American Mega Server. But it's been nice, like, catching up with people that, I haven't talked to in ages and don't have any other ways to communicate other than, the game itself. Like, people I know from the role-playing community, people I know from, like, the old Wings of Fate, things like that. So that's been going nice. Other than that, I've obviously checked out PTS, mostly did housing. I am super happy that Proudspire Manor, the house in Solitude, is available with gold. It's behind an achievement called Western Skyrim Completion or something like that. I don't know what it means. I didn't
Probably
check.
the main story.
Ah, okay. So
that would be, if it's anything like Elsewhere, that's probably what it is. It's like if you complete the main story, you get the pieces along the way until it's full completion. I probably
this is
something
actually
along those lines.
crowns. Like, it is available with crowns, but it's still available with gold as well. So on PTS, you can buy it with 1 million gold.
I love those options.
Yeah, it is not a manor. It is one of the classic homes.
Yep.
So it's about the same size as Mistvale Manor in Rift.
Cool. I love that place.
Yeah.
It's really nice, though. It's super bright. So,
yes.
Sorry to hijack your tales,
Yeah, no,
but I did have one thing to say. So, my biggest complaint about most houses in ESO is they're all so dark. But even viewing this unfurnished, there's so many sconces around that are just included. And then the fact that the walls are light colored and the floors are a light colored tile, it's super bright in there. And I just absolutely love it. And I want to buy that house. And so that's why I'm trying to be cheap with my fast travels, because I want 1 million gold.
I'm glad that I now have 2 million gold. So I can buy the house and decorate it. And it is very nice. It's like, it's not, so all of the Nordic houses in the game at the moment are rugged, right? They are, so Autumn's Gate, it's wooden, it's rugged. Mistvale Manor, it's mostly, at least the interior decoration is like random. What type of stone is that? Like limestone, maybe? I don't know. But Proudspire Manor is very well decorated, and it's like, well, it fits Solitude, obviously. And it is almost like super similar to Proudspire Manor in Skyrim as well. My one thing about Solitude, though, is I mentioned this during the stream as well. For some reason, Solitude looks like, to me at least, it lacks either shadowing, ambient occlusion, or contrast. There's just something missing. The colors look flat. It's like the lighting or the shadowing or the contrast, or I don't know, there is something missing from everything, especially the walls. It's just too single colored, and there is no, like, I mean, obviously these models are not actually, like, bricks don't actually have 3D extensions between each brick.
Good lord, yeah, that'd nuke a system.
Yes, but when you do a normal map, so it does look like it, you do the lighting first, so when you take the render, the shadows should give that look. To me, it feels like it's lacking that shadow between the cracks and everything like that. Everything feels flattish, and I don't know if anybody else felt that or if it's just me. I have no idea how to explain it properly either, but that's something that I felt like. Solitude is beautiful, but that one thing that caught my eye is I can't overlook it now. So I don't know, maybe it'll get upgraded, or maybe it's just me that is noticing something like this and it's actually not a thing. I don't know. So yeah, what else did I do? But if anyone else figured something out like that, please do let me know so that I know I'm not the only one. Other than that, I've been mostly trying to farm. So I've been in Imperial City trying to get the Tears of the Harbinger set, which 5th bonus, basically what it does is it deals 6% of your maximum health as physical damage to anyone who damages you with a direct damage. So anything that is not a dot or anything direct damage. You hit them with 6% of your maximum health, which is at like 50k health, it's 3k. Minus obviously the battle spirit for PvP, resistances, mitigation and things like that. But it doesn't have any cooldown, it doesn't have any range, it doesn't have any limitations. So once you jump into the middle in a battleground, I assume you will be, like, whoever's hitting you will get hit back while you are blocking. Well, you don't have to be blocking either, but I assume I will be blocking while taking more damage.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on that.
Yeah, I've been farming that. I got 3 bows, 4 helmets so far. So that's been really...
That's good. That's very helpful.
Yeah,
it's just what you're looking for.
And a pauldron and like 2 greaves.
Even better.
So I kind of wasted 35k Talvars on items that are absolutely useless for this set.
What do you mean, best in slot?
Clearly. Yeah. Bobo tank build.
Yeah. If I
really want that to be a thing.
If I can get either one more ring or the shield, I think it'll be fine. I can work with it. I still have to reiterate a bunch of things, but I'm close. I didn't want to buy it, but I probably should have bought it because I think I spent more in Telvars than I would have spent buying the thing outright. So there's that.
So it's bind on equip, not bind on pickup, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can buy it from a vendor if needed. I've got like 100,000 Telvar. I just haven't gone in to check it since I've heard about it because I would like to try that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it could be fun. Probably not best in slot in any way, but
certainly not.
Yeah,
most of what
could
I do
be fun.
isn't.
So basically, I've been doing a bunch of Imperial City. I found that people really don't want to group up in Imperial City. It didn't used to be like this. Like,
really?
So I streamed, I don't know, I guess it was Thursday, Wednesday. The days don't matter anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, time is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Right there with you.
So, and for 3 hours, like 3 to 4 hours, I've been in Imperial City. I've been constantly like looking for group, and I saw groups that are running. No one really I got no invites whatsoever. Not even messages like, hey, we are private group or whatever, things like that. 0 groups. And I saw groups that are running. So I don't know, like, I don't know if anything's changed or people are trying to, farm more Telvars. Because if you're in a group, everybody shares the, like, total amount of Telvars. But the thing is, if I'm not in the group, but if I'm still running with them, I still apply the same effect. So I don't know what. I don't know why.
Strange. I don't know if that's a PC thing or something was weird, but like, yeah. So I've actually one of the last times I streamed, it was actually like an Imperial City stream because I was trying to get the last of those flag carriers down in the sewers. So I went in and there were 5 of us, I think. By the end of stream, we had like 13 people just because people kept LFGing and I just kept picking them up and adding them to the horde. And like they weren't in chat with us or anything like that. They just kind of just piled in with us.
Yeah.
And it went from us doing that to, hey, there's too many AD and DC in the city. Let's now go get the flags back. To why are there so many people in Imperial City? And it turned into a 4-hour war upstairs. And I'm like, wow. Cool. And yeah, and we had other groups joining. I was like, there's got to be like 80 people in here. Like, what is going on? I thought IC was dead. Like, so that's interesting that on the PS4 it seemed to be a very, I mean, maybe it was just a day thing or something, but it's a very different experience than what I had seen. So
see, after that, so this was in Champion Point, Imperial City. And after ending the stream, I turned up Netflix and started watching something, and at the same time joined the non-Champion Point Imperial City to continue farming like mindlessly. Someone started a group. I joined and we ended up like 10 people running and farming bosses, which is how I managed to get that many Thieves of Harbinger sets. And then earlier today, I went into Imperial City again, no champion points. And the same thing happened, like no groups. There are groups, they just don't respond or invite. And we were actually 3 people running with this group, but not in this group, chatting between each other. Like, what is going on? I mean, we are applying the same effect, because whether if you invite us or not, it's the same thing is gonna happen. Like, if I hit the boss that you are fighting once, I'm gonna get my Talwar. And I was running with these guys because I separated from them. I get nuked by the AD and DC groups. So I hanged with them, basically, just tagged along wherever they go, continued farming, and continued having protection from them. But yeah, it felt different. Like, I'm 100% sure, back when I was playing, like, more Imperial City focused, people were grouping up like crazy in the sewers, up the districts. So, not sure what changed, but yeah, that was my experience. Other than that, what I've been doing, I've been trying to get my Dragon Guard chest. I think I'm at 25 quests now, so a few more days, and yeah, a few more days, and hopefully I'll be able to. I'm just sad that
you're trying to get those.
Yeah, I'm just sad that I never knew this, so I never really paid attention to doing my Dragon Guard dailies. And
so if you
I'm
work
missing
as a
all
group,
motives.
you can share those. So you can do more than just the one you get per day. You can actually like rifle through way more of them.
So it works like Rothgar dailies.
Yes, exactly. The dragon one is pretty specific. Like that one seems to just kind of not work with the sharing thing. Mm-hmm. But the one down in front of, like down at the little stand where the chest will spawn, pretty much, we would go as like a group of 4 to 6 of us. And I don't know how many repeatables there are, but everybody just grabs, like I grab one, I share it to the group. Then we see if who else has one, they grab it. And we just go until nobody has any repeatables left. And you can burn through, like, I'm pretty sure you can do at least 4 in a day. So you can burn through them real quick if you have like a little group.
I wish
and RNG doesn't totally screw you. I mean, if you all pull the exact same quests, there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah. I wish I had knew this one.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I didn't think about it. I've just been running them solo, just doing the dailies.
Yeah, just 2 at a day. But yeah, that's about it basically. So Lotus, what about you?
All right. So I did not play an awful lot this week, as I had some pretty heavy-duty IRL stuff going on. But as for the Dragon Guard chest that you guys were just talking about, I did have that completed because I farm achievements and I'm a lunatic. So I had that already finished, and I have been opening that chest every day since the new moon dropped. And I don't know if it's an intentional, like, really high drop percent chance or what, but I have pulled one every single day. And normally I buy these with crowns. Well, I don't pay for them. I buy crowns off someone else. They gift me the book, and then I sell off the pieces I get to pay for it in the long run, because then I don't need to factor in RNG, because I don't like RNG. And I just keep getting the same piece. Like, I think, for example, like I do it most of the time with dungeons. I think I've gotten Meridia chess pieces like 13 times.
Oh god!
But I'm missing like most of that book still. I'm like, well, this is just the worst. Luckily, Meridia chess pieces sell for the most out of all of them, so I pretty much paid for it a couple times over. But yeah, this one, once you have it, all you have to do is walk up and open it. There's no quest needed. You don't need to do anything. It's super easy. So I figured I'd just wait this one out and just sell off any extra pieces, or trade with people. That's also fine. So I've been doing that. Really high drop percent chance so far, which is pleasant as a change of things. I haven't gotten any duplicates just yet. So I've got 3 of the, what are there, 16 pieces to one of those motifs?
How much do they sell for?
I've seen a lot of people in Zone offering them for 50K.
So much money I could have made.
Yeah, so there's also that. But yeah, that's the ballpark of what I've been seeing people ask for. I've seen some people put 70, and they were pretty violently attacked in chat for being monsters and stuff like that. So I think 50 or less might be around where they're looking at. And apparently SDT sold the chest for 175,000. So
Jeez.
there's so I guess it kind of jumps all over the place. I actually usually use the Dwemer Automaton in Discord to check pricing. And since I was there day one, I tried that, and it was so new that it said this isn't even recognizable as a thing. I was like, thanks. Well, that's not going to work.
And
So
see,
yeah,
this is how I end up not making money. I catch all of these trends once the prices drop to like 10K.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
I'm sad.
But yeah, so I've been doing that a bunch, and then the other, I guess, two things I would say that I did have both been trial related this week with the time I had. As everybody knows, my nightmare trial is the Halls of Fabrication on Vet, and I had not set foot in that place since I cleared it. For whatever reason, I decided to join my trials group. They wanted to start working on a prog group for Halls of Fabrication, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't run this in forever. I'll join. Sure, why not? So I went back in to join their prog group. I don't need to progress through it for a clear thing unless we want to do hard mode. I've never done hard mode on it. But in our first prog night, it was different because that first boss where you have the two Roboraptors is just the best way to explain them. I officially had never done it anywhere close to the way that we did it. It involved both of us, like me and the other tank, pulling them separate and having the off tank pull his robot to the far side of the room, and all the DPS and healers were on me, so he needed to self-sustain. They would tee off on my raptor until it would spawn these Dwemer spheres around the room. Sorry, I'm not going to go super in depth on the mechanics of this. This trial's a mess, but like this is just a like ballparky thing. Like these spheres pop up around the room, and they have an overshield on them, so they're pretty obnoxious to kill. And if you don't bash them, they have this charge shot that just one-shots DPSs left and right. So one way to apparently get through the shield, which I never realized because this is not even remotely how I've ever done this trial, was we both puncture our Roboraptors and we run so that we're on opposite sides of the Dwemer sphere, and both the raptors jump on us, and they're close enough that they become enraged. You need to keep them separated to keep their electric tether, because that's like the mechanic for you're doing it wrong. But if you walk the tether through the ad, it melts it because they're enraged. So then we needed to split in two different directions to snap the tether before they would just then blow us away because they're enraged. So we did the entire fight ping-ponging these things around the arena. And I'm like, this is completely bonkers. Like, who would do this? And we beat the fight. And I was shocked. And it was very different than just being on opposite ends of the room and you split into two teams, which is the only way I've ever done it. I'm not sure if this was an effective way to do it, but it certainly was fun, to say the least, because it was chaos, right? It was like, if we had to run through the middle, all the DPSs are like, brace yourselves, because we had to run through them, and then like if they connect too quick, the tether line connects, and they're all like, so like healers have to heal through them. It was ridiculous, but yeah, it totally worked. We got through first boss, and that's where we stopped. We just do like one boss for that night type of thing. But that was fun, a lot more fun than I remember from Halls of Fabrication, because I after I had gotten my original clear and it was a 9-hour run, I just had never set foot in there again. So that was kind of fun. And then on the same group of the APF, we went through and decided, some people were saying, let's run a Vet Sunspire. Plenty of people had cleared Vet Sunspire, but in guild only, like only guild members, there was never an official APF clear of Vet Sunspire. And so that wasn't even really the goal. It was like, oh, let's get some people some gear, see how far we can progress into it. And the roster was full except for 2 tanks. We just had 1 tank. And guild leader messaged me because we actually tend to tank things together a lot in trials. He's like one of my favorite people to group tank with. Like, we just kind of seem to mesh really well when we do stuff. And I said, well, I'll have to see, because I had my real life stuff in the way. It cleared itself up, so I said, yes, you know what, I'm in. Let's do it. I don't have any. I have like 1 piece of perfected YOLO or none. I don't remember. I had a really bad pull on my first run because it was new, and everybody wanted their perfected pieces. So I got like nothing from my perfected set, and I run with discount Yolocrin set.
Discount Yolocrin.
We went in.
I have discount Olorime. That's what I'm going to call it from now on.
Yeah, it's the discount versions. So we went in and we had a great Ice Boss. We started with Ice Boss because personally, people have their different opinions on which of the bosses is the hardest. I actually think Ice Boss is way easier because it's so much more mechanics based and less DPS check based.
Does it do frost damage?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you play a Nord?
Yes.
Maybe that's why you think it's the easiest.
That could be. He also has like 89 million hit points, and Yolocrin has like, I think, 129 million.
I have no idea, by the way. I never ran it.
It's like a 40 million. So
I'm just messing around.
If I'm not remembering incorrectly. But that could be. But so either way, we went in, we had a great clear. We didn't wipe, just breezed right through it. And then as we head over to Fire, one of our players unfortunately DC'd, I think 12 times or something like that. Yeah, the poor dude was in hell. He couldn't stay on for like more than 8 seconds without getting DC'd. So he asked for somebody to fill in so that he wouldn't just ruin it for everybody. Fill-in joined. She miscalculated how long she had for her next trial. So we had 1 pull of Fire Dragon. Didn't work. She had to go. We're like, oh my lord. That's okay. Well, whatever. We've cleared 1 boss. Let's see if we can get somebody else in. Another person joins, and they're, good player or whatnot. We go in for pull, and I basically just shy of desync because I was so out of sync that while holding block during the Fire Dragon breathing on me, both of my resource bars went from 90% to nothing. And instead of blocking, my character kind of sort of almost went into a mount animation. It looked like I was trying to mount, but nothing was there. And then I exploded and died. And I was like, well, that's not great. So we were getting concerned that the servers were borking or something like that. So I did a reload UI, totally fixed it. I've never had such an efficient reload UI in my life because it just worked at that point, which was lovely. We changed up and did a mechanic for that boss that I had never done, which was kind of interesting for the off tank. I'm not going to explain that because I wasn't doing it, but different method of dealing with the ads. Beat that boss, which at this point we were heading to the final boss, and that's when we realized that 5 people had not skinned in this group. So it was like, oh man, it'd be really nice if we could like push through and skin for everybody. So we took a little break, everybody relaxed, went in, hit the final boss, nuked the final boss. I actually posted the video from our guildmate Ren. He actually recorded it and posted our final clear because we just obliterated the final boss with a bunch of people who had never done it before. And got 5 people their skins on that run, which was really awesome.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, that was super cool. It was the first official all guild member clear of Vet Sunspire for them. And what's more is the other tank didn't need any of his gear, and I knew everybody in the trial from being in the guild, so I got all the perfected Yolocrin pieces. I can almost have a set of it now, which is lovely. So
Free.
No more discount Yolocrin.
Yay.
Yep. But I love that trial. I actually think Sunspire is a lot of fun. But yes, trials can be a mess. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes everything's on fire and everybody's crying. You never know. But so game wise, that's it. I don't have it on me. It's actually downstairs in something that I've got sealing it. But I posted it to Twitter. And to anybody who might know or doesn't know who Jonah Loeb is, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I've never actually heard it spoken, so that would just be how I would pronounce it. But he is the artist that created some of the most memorable things from Skyrim, which many people will be acquainted with, such as like the Draugr, like how they look. That was his modeling. Like that's who he is.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that either.
He is actually one of the Skyrim artists. One of my favorite pieces of trivia, which is when I started following his Twitter profile, which is Jonah Loeb, which you should all check out because he posts amazing art there, is if you read the Nordic runes around some of the armor, it's his name. He signed it in Daedric.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
Okay.
Yeah, which is awesome.
How cool being able to do that is. That is like...
Right? You get to sign your name in game and stuff like that. Actually, if Kiz is still there, he might know some more like of the finer details if he did other stuff. The Draugr one's the one that I really know of. I think he had something to do with the dragon stuff too. But very cool. Super nice guy anytime I've interacted with him. But he reached, 20,000 followers on Twitter or something like that and was like, I'm going to do an art giveaway. So all you're going to do is like follow him and retweet or whatever. So I did. And he messaged me and said, you happen to win. What would you like? I obviously can't do anything copyrighted. And I'm like, that totally makes sense. So he showed me like some of the things that he was available to do. And like I said, I posted it on Twitter, but he did me a signed addressed thing to me. So it actually says Lotus of Doom in script at the bottom of it. An ink print of 2 warriors up on a snow cliff. And one of them's like at the edge. And in the ink, you can see like it's black and white, but there's also like parts of gold on it. And it's actually in like that gold leaf, so it reflects. It is so awesome, and I absolutely love it.
That is amazing.
I love it. So I'm really trying to figure out. I'm basically going to. Normally, I'd have someone else frame it professionally, but that's not really a thing nowadays because that is certainly not what would be considered like essential at the moment with the current state of the world. So I'm going to have. Buy a frame off Amazon or something like that so that I can get that thing in a frame because I don't want anything to happen to it.
So Lotus.
So huge shout out to him for doing that. It was amazing and I love it.
Where do you live? Which room the thing is in, and do you lock your doors and windows?
I was going to say, please destroy any and all mail that I sent you with my address on it.
Oh, wait, I think I might still have some.
Crap.
I'm also small and I'm easily missed if I sneak into my house.
New dungeon raid or arena, Lotus's house. Quest is to grab the thing. In a completely irrelevant topic, by the way. This has nothing to do with what we just talked about.
Totally. No,
Listen,
it's just unrelated.
I have an idea. So you jump in your private jet, and we've already established that I am backpack sized. You can smuggle me to Lotus's house in a backpack, and then you ding dong ditch and leave the backpack with me in it. Lotus will just take the backpack into the house. I can snatch the print, and then I'll meet you outside in the getaway car. Hopefully, you have something fast.
Getaway helicopter.
And
getaway drone. We need getaway drones.
Look, I'm just saying, planning this with all these people watching in chat, I have basically infinite witnesses.
Okay, we just watched Pixie
and Pixie's under siege.
Run, grab the cat and run back. What happened?
I heard a noise. The cat was tearing up my boyfriend's leather chair.
Oh.
Little did you know, Pixie, that I hired the cat as an assassin to prevent stealing of my artwork.
That was instant karma. Instant karma.
Okay, now I have to be careful sleeping with the cats tonight.
He's hired the Khajiit. Oh my god, you are part of the Dominion. I'm so happy. Finally, you've seen the light.
No, how did this turn into that? I don't like where this went. Lotus is my packed ally. How dare you, Lotus, you betrayer.
But that's pretty much it for me.
See, he doesn't deny it. He just laughs.
Look, I'm just slinking away into the background.
Figured it out. Now you're outnumbered, Ark. How does that feel?
Well, being a tank, I'm always outnumbered and I'm prepared for it, so... No problem.
Also, seeing the sun in the background for you, Ark, is really disturbing.
Oh, it's up yet? Yeah.
I think it's the sun.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost 8 a.m.
In my world, it's, oh my lord.
It is now a new day. So, this is fine.
You need to go to sleep.
I will. Yeah.
Short episode, almost 2 hours again, FYI.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Throwing that out there.
But yeah, when we mentioned it's gonna be a short episode, we knew right off the bat that it was not gonna be a short episode.
It never is.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe we should bring our tales to the front. Like, instead of news, we do tales first. And then, because we already did tales for like 2 hours, and then derail, and then do news, and then derail again. And, yeah. I don't know where this is going, but yeah.
Off the rails. That's where it's going.
True. It's just an idea, though. We might actually try it. Do the tales first, and then do news. And
it's true. A lot of times we cover a decent amount of the news in tales. So theoretically, we could hit some major bullet points while just talking about what we're doing.
True, yeah. That's also possible. What else I was going to say? Right, these are supposed to be in behind the scenes, but now this is behind the scenes, but at the end of the show. I am trying to work on some, like, this is for Twitch side, emotes and things like that, which is not going pretty well. Because as mentioned at the beginning of the show, rather middle, I don't even know at this point, but I can't do art, but I'm thinking about like maybe buying the icons that I think would work and then go modify on them. I don't know, we'll see. I'm also planning to overhaul the overlay we have, actually. This overlay has been here for over 3-4 years, something like that, I think. So
wow.
maybe we can spice it up a little bit, change it up, see what happens, things like that. Yeah, end of the show as usual. Lotus, any final thoughts? Where can people find you and things like that?
final thought wise, if you have the option, I would definitely suggest still checking out the PTS, even if you don't want to hit story stuff. They do use that information to kind of iron stuff out. And being on console, I like a nice polished experience, so do my work for me, since I can't actually help. But no, for the most part, I think we covered what there was to talk about this week, and that was pretty much it. If you ever obviously want to find me, I'm Lotus of Doom on Twitter and Twitch. Hopefully, now that things project-wise are done and settled, I can actually get back to streaming, because several people have asked, it's been 2 weeks. I haven't managed to pull off an arena stream, and this is going to sound weird, but at this point, I actually miss arena because I clearly have Stockholm syndrome or whatever, Munchausen.
Yeah, you are
whatever
broken.
it's called. Yeah, it's clearly I have problems. But I actually miss it, and I want to play it. So that's pretty much it for me. Keep on the lookout. I'll keep everybody up to date when I can actually get. Ideally, I could do something tomorrow. Hopefully, but yeah, hopefully I can stream again soon and chat with everybody.
All right. What about you, Pixie?
Well, I don't have any final thoughts. I think I got them all out earlier, but you can find me on Twitch and Instagram at HyperPixie Gaming, and then on Twitter as HyperPixie Games, because I ran out of character space on Twitter.
All right. Well, you said it in such a tone that I was expecting more to come.
I feel like I was almost expecting more, and then I got to the end and just kind of lost my train of thought, so I just left it there.
Well,
I am half asleep at this point. My Red Bull is empty, and I am very tired.
I'll just hang in there for 5 more minutes.
Got it.
And in that 5 minutes, I'll find something to derail about, and we'll go for another hour. It'll be fine. Look, for the show to be over, the sun needs to be down. Okay, so we have to go until the next night. But for me, you can find me directly at twitter.com/Arkhaniir. And other than that, anything, there are DCN. So that is available at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com, where you can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork. It helps a lot. And also, if you want to help support the show, consider leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes. For us to review and, read it and see it, there has to be a comment, but we appreciate all of them nonetheless, even if you don't leave a comment, and we can't see it and can't shout you out. But it helps people know that we are a real podcast, and we say real words. And on occasion, they matter, we'd like to think. Thank you all so much for joining on this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we will see you all next week. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark, down in an alien well. Magica fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to Chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves elves lost Nirn to men. Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.